American-Canadian professional wrestler Brock Lesnar was bound to live a life of fame and success the moment he walked into the UFC apex. And while he has plenty of fans, one of his biggest fans is podcaster and UFC commentator Joe Rogan. But while he's big in the UFC, it looks like he has no plans on returning to the WWE. To know more details, keep watching. First up, Joe Rogan becomes a fan of Brock Lesnar. Before UFC, Lesnar was huge in the WWE, and that's exactly where Joe Rogan spotted him. After seeing the 45-year-old wrestler's initial matches, Rogan was sold. In his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, the podcaster mentioned Lesnar's incredible match at WrestleMania 19. This match was an impressive one for Brock, as he put up a great fight and almost escaped death in it. It also led to Rogan becoming his huge fan. In a 2011 episode of his podcast, Joe stated that Brock, also called the Beast Incarnate, was always a freak and everyone knew he was just an alien. He then moved on to talk about the day when Lesnar made his jaw drop. Moving forward, Lesnar's WrestleMania 19 match. To this day, Lesnar's WrestleMania 19 match against Olympic medalist Kurt Angle is called one of the greatest matches in WWE history. In the match, the Beast Incarnate attempted to perform one of his iconic moves, the moonsault, but it didn't really go as planned. He ended up falling on his head and missed Angle completely, but that didn't stop him anyway, as he continued and pinned his opponent. Not only did this impress fans, Rogan officially became a fan of Lesnar after that. In his podcast, he talked about it and explained how shocked he was when Brock was able to recover from the entire thing. He stated that he was shocked that the wrestler survived that, since it's supposed to snap your neck and break your spinal column. But the American-Canadian wrestler went forward and finished the match and actually won it. To say that was impressive would be an understatement. Up next, Rogan talks about his interaction with Lesnar. But that isn't the only time Rogan talked about the wrestler. Once, while he discussed Lesnar's monster character, the 55-year-old commentator talked about the moment when the wrestler picked him up in the air. He recalled that he was impressed by Lesnar's demeanor, and he referred to him as an anomaly. And according to Rogan, the Beast Incarnate picked him up in the air while the two were shaking hands at a UFC event. It's important to note that Joe himself isn't a small man, and in fact has a pretty strong build, but still, that wasn't a problem for Lesnar as he lifted him up easily. And while Joe has met a lot of strong heavyweights in his life, Brock is the only one who he's ever called a monster, at least publicly. Moving forward, Rogan praises Brock's physique. Rogan has every reason to be fascinated by Lesnar, as he defeated Randy Couture in his fourth MMA contest to become the UFC World Champion. The podcast host was quick to point out that it isn't easy to make the switch from WWE to UFC and be so good at it in such a short span of time, but it seemed like a piece of cake for Brock. Talking about his physique, he stated that Lesnar's body structure was like a Viking's. He went on to say that his head and body are way too big and his hands are huge. Brock Lesnar defeated Randy Couture to become the UFC World Champion in just his fourth MMA contest. No one can easily switch between multiple sports and win them all. Lesnar, though, dominates everything owing to his size, which is why Rogan believes he is an aberration. Joe concluded by saying that while Lesnar is an enormous human, he's still skillful. Now let's talk about whether Lesnar will ever be a WWE champion again. Even though he has made many comebacks in the past years and has been successful in most of them, many people seem to agree that this time he might not be victorious. Don't get us wrong, it is highly likely that he will compete for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, but it seems unlikely that he will be the winner this time around. One of the reasons for that is that he doesn't really need that title. Let's be real, Brock has played and won enough matches to prove that he is a force to be reckoned with, winning the world titles 10 times in WWE and competing in the main event of every major pay-per-view of the WWE is a testament to that. It's safe to say that Lesnar had done everything there was for him to do, and adding another title under his belt would only just make him get some unnecessary hate. In fact, many believe that he has proven himself enough that he's above the championship, and his presence is enough for him. He has an ongoing feud with Bobby Lashley that is keeping his name in the headlines for now. But there is no title at stake right now. It is just a simple feud between the two who will be fighting it out on the 5th of November in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. So safe to assume the feud is just a publicity stunt for some hype for the upcoming match. Up next, promotion for upcoming talent. It is believed that the reason Lesnar is brought back again and again is so that he can fight new talent and make them relevant. Triple H has always focused on bringing new talent and making them compete with iconic stars so they can put some relevance relevance to their name. To name a few, Mustafa Ali, Dexter Lumis, Damage, CTRL, Kevin Owens, and Johnny Gargano are some of the players who benefited from this scheme. The Beast is someone who many executives turn to whenever things are getting dull, and they need to cause some commotion, and he doesn't disappoint ever. That being said, many fans claim that he doesn't need a championship around his waist anymore and should give the newcomers a chance to shine now. They also stated that the WWE executives could get the best out of Brock by booking him to work with new faces that will help rejuvenate him and will also give legitimacy to his opponents. Next up, Lesnar's new look. It looks like the Beast Incarnate is excited as ever about his return. The last time he was seen was when he was buried under tables and chairs by Roman Reigns and the Bloodline at SummerSlam, a sight that had fans wondering if he would ever return. But after he posted a picture of his new look, fans were relieved that the iconic will in fact be returning. In a new post from Wrestle Kingdom, he showed a clean-shaven, new clean look. While he could grow his beard back before his return to the ring, fans still took this new look as a teaser for his return. With the picture, the caption indicated that the Beast Incarnate might be returning, and while this isn't a real confirmation, it's still a big enough hint. Coming up, Lesnar's match with Roman Reigns. As we mentioned earlier, Brock was last seen after he lost to Reigns at SummerSlam, and while initially fans weren't too excited about the rematch, it ended up becoming one of the most exciting matches they had seen in a while. Initially, the match was supposed to be played between Reigns and Randy Orton, but due to some injuries, Orton had to sit this one out. Lesnar was then brought in, despite fans' disappointment, but the match ended up being anything but a disappointment. It ended up being unforgettable as Lesnar lifted the ring up in the air and sent his opponent tumbling. While he was incredible, he did end up losing against his 37-year-old opponent. And since then, Triple H has brought back some more iconic stars to the company after seeing the success of this match. For example, Karrion Kross and Braun Strowman, wrapping it up with Lesnar's return to WWE. It was reported that Brock was being advertised for a premium live event by WWE, even though he was absent from the promotions. His last appearance was at the SummerSlam of 2022, but this might just be his big comeback for 2023. He was defeated by Roman Reigns at the SummerSlam 2022 for the undisputed WWE Universal title. However, that did not affect Brock's return to the Royal Rumble, which will be held on the 28th of January in 2023. WWE recently shared a poster announcing the live events and promoting the tickets, and in the poster, we see Reigns and Lesnar on both corners. But with this being the only update so far, it's hard to tell what his role in the premium live event will be. It has been concluded by fans and critics that there could be a rematch between Reigns and Brock, or he could enter the men's Royal Rumble match and set up a rematch for WrestleMania 39. But with no official announcement from WWE, it's hard to say what is expected of Brock. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Joe Rogan's encounter with Brock Lesnar? What do you think about Lesnar's return to the WWE? Let us know about it in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.